Today we are going to explore the concept of ego based on Zen and Tao philosophy. Ego is a term that we often hear in our daily conversations, but we might not have a clear understanding of what it actually means. In Zen philosophy, ego is described as a false sense of self. It's the idea that we have of ourselves that is based on our opinions, accomplishments, material possessions, and social status. However, the truth is that these things are impermanent and do not define who we truly are. I know that I have been caught up in the ego trap on many occasions and consciously spend time in overcoming ego on a regular basis. The first step is to realize we are operating from the ego. Imagine a person who is constantly striving for success, worries about what others think of them, and is constantly comparing themselves to others. This person has become a slave to their ego. Because one believes in oneself, one doesn't try to convince others. Because one is content with oneself, one doesn't need others' approval. Lao Tzu. Become self-aware and confident in oneself. When we are content with who we are, we do not need external validation or approval to feel valuable. Many people have built their entire self-worth on the number of likes, followers, and shares they get on their posts. This is another example of ego taking control of our lives. We might have thousands of followers online, but in reality, we might not have any meaningful connections. We often associate material possessions with success and use it as a way to show off our achievements. For example, someone showing off an expensive brand they wear for the pure motivation to show others their superiority, or to get validation to feel important or successful, is another example of ego taking control. Care about people's approval and you will always be their prisoner. An obsession with gaining approval from others can enslave us. When we base our self-worth on how others perceive us, we are controlled by the opinions of others, and our egos rule us. In relationships, ego can create unnecessary conflicts. For example, if a person is always trying to prove themselves right and cannot stand to be wrong, they might end up losing a valuable relationship. Sometimes it's important to let go of our ego and focus on the bigger picture, which is having a healthy and peaceful relationship. He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. A true sign of strength is when one is able to conquer and control their own ego. Focus on self-mastery, rather than comparing ourselves to others. In professional settings, ego can get in the way of our growth. For example, if a person is too proud to admit their mistakes, they might not learn from their failures and might not grow in their career. It's important to have humility and learn from our mistakes in order to become successful. Be like water. The less rigid we are in our thinking, the more open we can be to learning. Be flexible and adaptable in our thinking. Ultimately, by letting go of the attachment to our ego, we can experience freedom and inner peace. When we are not trying to prove anything to anyone, we can live a more authentic and meaningful life. The ego is nothing but this incessant worry, this constant concern, this notion of yourself that you carry with you wherever you go. Our obsession with self-importance is a burden that we bring upon ourselves. It reminds us of the importance of letting go of this notion of self and being present in the moment. So how can we overcome our ego? Zen philosophy teaches us to be present and to let go of our attachment to material desires. Through mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection, we can free ourselves from our attachment to our ego. By overcoming our ego, we can experience several benefits, such as inner peace, more meaningful relationships, a greater sense of purpose. So if you want to live a fulfilled and happy life, it's time to overcome the ego. Let's start by taking a few deep breaths and being in the present moment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on mindfulness.